Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, like they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews, as always. My name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's Dan Who. And Pow, how are we doing this pre-Marvel Legends Haslab? How is it going to be? We shall find out. But today is exactly that. We are talking the Marvel Legends Haslab. Now, I'm sure everyone has figured out by now, it's most likely going to be Giant Man if you put all the clues together. So we're not going to beat around the bush here. Me and Rich today are going to predict, like, how much is it going to be? What's the unlocks? What the tiers? How many backers will it need? Like, this is our full-on prediction show, and it's the best place for it, as we're going to find out everything tomorrow. So if you want to join in with the hype, please get involved. There is also a poll live right now in the chat that quite simply says, if the value is there, and there's a good base offering, do you even want a Marvel Legends Giant Man? Like, some people don't even want a Giant Man, but I'm asking you the question, is it a character you would like to add to your collection? So, are you curious? Let me know in the comments below, but let me bring him in. It is, of course, the man himself, Rich M. Rich, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. You okay?
I'm all good. Rich, give him a wave on your new full screen. Hey, it took me only 159 episodes, but I finally got a full screen for Rich, so when we show off some toys, I can see them. I do apologise, it took me so long. One day I'll figure out Friday in the headphones, probably around the 300 episode mark, maybe. Right, let's get it nice. Let's start nice and easy. Let's say hello to the chat. Then I'll do some housekeeping. Let people roll in here. But yes, this is our Giant Man hype sort of vibe. Like, let's just start. Ooh. Actually. Let's just start, Rich, with where we are. Where we are, okay? So, not getting into the politics of it again. We're avoiding that. We're just having a fun conversation among friends. Like, do you even want the Giant Man character in your collection? I can see you've got two giant ladies behind you. Let me show you again on the full screen. But do you even want a Giant Man, Rich?
I've got a Giant Man in my collection, though, and I've got many Hank Pyms in my collection. There was one in the Avengers set just the other week that I got, the Avengers West Coast in his overalls. So yeah, I think they've got more work to get me to back this Haslab than they've got to get you. But it all depends on pricing and, like, never say never, but I would say there's 90% chance that I'm probably not going to back this. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. That's
absolutely fair. Like, for me, just like, again, just thinking about, do I want a Giant Man in my collection? Like, I obviously didn't complete all the Toy Biz Builder figures. I had pieces and parts, and like back in the day, I would sell bits and bobs because some of the pieces, like, I remember the Sentinel head that came with the first appearance Spider-Man would go for crazy money, do you know, like, so I remember back in the day I'd sell pieces and parts, and I managed to complete a Sentinel and never managed to complete Giant Man. So, like, as time went on, I thought, instead of backtracking to get the Toy Biz Giant Man, I'll just hold out and hopefully Marvel will do a new Giant Man. And then we got like that in 2015 during the sort of Ant-Man sort of movie phase. We got that San Diego box set, which was like basically a Marvel Universe set. Do you remember it? Where it had like the yellow, it was like a 6-inch figure, a 12-inch. Yeah,
that's the different ones.
Yeah, so like, and then I didn't want that either. I was like, that's not really what I want either. Do you know, like, so I skipped that. So like, Giant Man as a character is absolutely something I want in my collection, and I haven't got one. So again, I'm genuinely intrigued, for Haslab or not, as a character, it is something I would like to add to the collection. So yeah, we shall find out. But let me go to the chat and see who's here. Let's say hello to some people. First of all, the poll is already getting involved. 66 votes. Please do get involved in the poll, people. If the value is there and if it's a good based offering, do you even want the Marvel Legends Giant Man? So far, 56% say yes, I want a Giant Man. And 44% say no, not backing regardless. And that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Again, each to their own. But let me scroll up. Let me first of all say thank you very much to Red Foreman. Let me scroll up Red Foreman and make sure Friday's working, and we'll come back down. But who we got in here nice and early? I see Tac, Home Dude, Pickles and Plastic, Jelly Figs, Damien, Cloud, The Fossil, Scotty C, Mark Rose, Jay on the Grind, Stuart, Jim Ruby. And there is the Red Foreman super chat. Thank you so much. That's Friday.
Red Foreman donated $4.99. Want a giant man, but it depends on price, tiers, and size. He shouldn't be Galactus sized. Wasp, Pym with lab coat, yellow jacket, Hasbro can fumble.
Absolutely. So I completely agree with Red Foreman there. He says, I want a giant man, but it depends on the price, the tiers, the size, and he shouldn't be taller than Galactus. Wasp, Pym, in a lab coat, yellow jacket, Hasbro can fumble. Yes, absolutely. But I also think that the Marvel team need a win here. So they've just got to go for what people want. And it's been a long time, since we got a decent looking giant man. Again, Toy Biz days is probably it, which is over 20 years ago now, right? So actually, would Giant Man be 20 years ago? Probably about 17, right?
Yeah, it wasn't one of the first
Yeah.
ones, was it? It was quite, it was like mid Toy Biz run, so
I'd
when
say,
Toy Biz have over 2-3 years.
yeah, someone in the chat can let me know. When did Giant Man the Builder figure actually come out in a Toy Biz? But I'm going to say about 16, 17 years ago anyway. So it's fair game to get this character out again with the new utilisation of the modern tech and all stuff like that. Who else we got here? I can see Arvin, Super Turk 5000, Fizz, Fortress Maximus, Cute Cool, the Wolfpack, how you doing, Miguel? Eric, Travis, Ray Ortiz, Damien Ristori, of course, Omar V, Greg Finstad, I can see Michael in there, Robert, I can see Hillphones, our good friend Hillphones is in the chat. So is Adam Batman Moran, Figure Cave Collectibles. Bring Toys to Work says happy Thursday all. Striding. Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. Tex Hex says evening everyone, hope you're all doing well. John's in there, says hello Dan, Rich and everybody. Hello John. Kurt K, evening, greetings from NY. Is that New Jersey? It's New Jersey, isn't it? Greetings from Coventry and greetings from Wales. Whereabouts in Wales are you again?
Down south.
Down south, that'll do. Jim Ruby, there you go. Right. Let me go to the housekeeping. First and foremost, go and check out all the long form content on the channel. And guess what, people? Perfect timing for the Haslab, because this week is a Legends and Liquor week. So on Sunday, I'm going to be hearing what all you guys think about this Haslab, all right? So that is going to be the place for it this Sunday, Legends and Liquor. Oh, thank you very much to the new channel member as well. Is that, how do you say that, Rich? Or Oz?
Olzen.
Ozen, show some love. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me jump back to the screen. Thank you very much. There you go. Where is it? There it is. Thank you very much for showing some love to the channel. Much appreciated. All right, let me go back to my screen. So yeah, where's Legends and Liquor? So again, if you want to be on Legends and Liquor this week, it is going to be a Haslab related topic. All right. So if you don't want to talk about the Haslab, you don't care. Fair enough. Take the week off. But if you do want to get your opinions heard and just be involved in the conversation, and again, we keep it light-hearted. Again, we're not going to go all crazy here. But Legends and Liquor this Sunday. Channel members at the members club tier or above, much appreciated. We got Turtles and Tea. Joe's and Juice, hopefully they'll be back in October. I've just got a busy September, unfortunately. But shout out Tana, shout out Mark, and shout out Tom. Hopefully there's lots of Joe news coming out of PulseCon as well. So maybe I'll be reporting live from the beach. We shall find out. Depends on Amanda, I suppose. I'd love to do a live stream from the beach, but we shall see. We got Friday, as Red Foreman's already proved. Friday is working. She's alive and well. Any super chats over £4 or $4, she will literally read it out. Be a part of the show, forever be a part of the replay crew, and support to the channel. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And go that one step further and hit that join button like we already have today. So thank you so much. And if you become a channel member at the brand new tier, the Who Crew Deluxe, come and join the weekly live show where you can be a guest. Me and Rich are going to go live straight after this show with the channel members, and we're going to get their predictions. What do they think this Haslab is going to be? Me and Rich will obviously discuss that now, but be a part of the Who Crew Deluxe, and you can come and join us on the after show. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. So before we do get into the Giant Man talk, let's keep talking Marvel Legends for a second. We got some new stuff this week, right?
Yeah, I got the best thing ever, Dan.
Go on.
I finally selfie series year in the UK, look. But
Oh, wait,
can't do my beard and glasses. Yeah,
if anything deserved,
Vanessa.
if anything deserved a full screen, it was that. That was the moment. Hang on, we got a couple of super chats going on in here. We have Dowie says, definitely backing Giant Man and hoping for one of the tiers is the new Wasp figure and a yellow jacket. I'd take that. I will take that. And Bring Toys to Work says Giant Man Wave was released in November of 2006. So what's the quick maths on that? How long ago was that? 2016 would be 10. And so it'll be like 16? 17? Yeah. We were close. We were basically bang on. We were basically completely right. So there you go. Thank you very much.
What year are we? I'm just...
It's 2023, I think.
That's it.
I think. So yes, there you go. Show him again. There he is. I've also got him as well. He was the missing piece. He didn't have the Build-A-Figure piece, so he was a little bit slow, but now he is here. So I have the full wave now, and I have got reviews starting on the channel right now as well. So please go and check out all the reviews on the channel. We have Warrior Gamora, Yelena Valova, Agatha Harkness, and I think Rich is starting an Agatha Harkness cube, especially with all of his it's Lego. So, Rich, tell the story. You brought a couple of these new blind boxes, right?
So I was just shopping in Asda, and like they had 4 of these blind boxes, is all they had like on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the 4 of them, and I thought, I looked at the bottom, there were different codes. I thought 4 of them, there's a good chance I might get like 4 random people. Yeah. I thought, if I get 4 beasts, that's what I thought. But I didn't. I got a Wolverine and I got 3 Agatha.
3 Agathas. Thank you very much, California Red Devil.
Red Devil donated $9.99.
Thank you so much.
What if all these pictures are red herrings and it's not Giant Man? It would be the biggest fake out since we had a tearful goodbye for Rich and now he's here twice as much.
It's true, yeah. He says, California Red Devil says, what if all those pictures are red herrings and it's not Giant Man? It would be the biggest fake out since we had a tearful goodbye for Rich and now he's here twice as much. I'm pretty confident it's Giant Man at this point, so not to worry. I think they've given it away at this point with the shadows and all the big clues.
Yeah, what are they going to do with this part?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, sorry, it's Mephisto with a throne. Like, come on. Like, it's got to be Giant Man.
Dwight posted on Instagram, like, about it months ago. So, like, if you were piecing it together, like, they weren't hiding it. I don't even think they were trying to be mysterious. Like, it's forever been Giant Man. So, yeah, we're all good. If it isn't, I will eat my hat. But yes, Rich unfortunately got 3 Agatha Harknesses, but I did want to shout out Rob Pollock, who's starting a new job. So he watches on the replay now. But Rob, if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much, my friend. He knows one of my absolute favourites, if not the favourite Marvel character. Maybe. He's up there. Definitely favourite X-Man. He's Beast! And of course, Beast was in this set. And unlike Rich, I didn't want to play the risk there. I didn't want to play the game of chance. It's too much of a gamble. So Rob just got an extra and sent it in my way all the way across the pond. So thank you very much, Rob. Beast is in my collection, and I may be starting a little Beast cube as I've been buying extra Beasts to display all my new Beast heads. So yeah, so these heads are too good just to sit in a box, and I love Beast, so I'm just going to sprinkle Beast all over the collection eventually. So there you go. Go and check out my review on the channel of these epic head sculpts. Massively improves this figure. So yeah, plenty of Beast types, and now I can start my little Beast cube on the shelf. So I'm going to get some tips from Rich how to build a cube. Alright, let's go back to the chat real quick. People are in a generous mood this evening. I appreciate that. The eve of a Haslab, I appreciate it very much. JC Hetch upgraded to the Who Crew Deluxe. That's very good of him. He can come and join us later if he's here, if he's around, if he's not working. I know UK and American time zones are all over the place, but that is the magic of the after show. If you are a Who Crew Deluxe, you can literally jump on tonight with me and Rich and have a quick chat. It's only a half-an-hour show, like bite-sized, snackable content, but to get involved. And then look at that, Air Extreme, just showing some love out to the community and gifting a channel membership. That is very, very kind. Thank you so much, Air Extreme. And who caught it? Let's have a look. Greg Finstad. This guy has a glover's mitt for like American baseball because he catches these channel memberships all over the place. Greg Finstad, you are very welcome, but make sure you send a special thank you to Air Extreme. But Greg Finstad has caught himself another channel membership. Much appreciated, Extreme. Thank you so much. I do like that, always spreading it with the community. Right.
Did he misread 4-man super chat?
Has he got another one? Let me scroll up. Oh, we did. Okay, he says, what about Mattel giving a vote on their next Masters of the Universe Creations project? Also, Super 7 doing the Turtles. Yeah, I think me and Tanner are going to have to do a Turtles and Tea to sort of talk about where we stand with the 2003 Turtles. It's not my era by any means. I think by then I was in secondary school, pretending I was cool, pretending I wasn't watching cartoons when I was really running home to watch Digimon. That's probably, honestly. But
of all the ones, Digimon.
No, it's Thursday afternoon. Shit, Digimon's on. Yeah, I didn't watch the 2003 episode. We also never had Nickelodeon. We never had Sky. I know, boo-hoo, poor Dan, my child is very sad. But yeah, I never had Nickelodeon, so I never seen it. I don't think it was on like terrestrial TV. So
you and Tom with your 3 channels,
yeah,
your black and white tellies.
No, I had the little dial as well and everything. But I'm sure Tanner's got lots to talk about. So we will talk about Turtles on Turtles and Tea. And the Masters of the Universe, like, I'm not a Masters guy. I was born late 80s. I missed the Masters hype. So I don't really have any affiliation or any attachment to any of those Masters stuff. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, I'm like in for this. I want either the Hordak vehicle or the Fright Zone. That's what I want made. One of those two would be great. I would love those two.
They look great. As I said, my votes are open. If Red Foreman, if you tell me who to vote for, I will vote for them. Honestly, not a problem. So yeah, tell me who I should vote for. But I have no team in the fight, or as they say. And look at that. Hero.collections. We've heard of this guy. We've heard of him. Where's the Brandon emoji? It's still there. I'm not retiring it. It's never going anywhere. He says, "03 Turtles are the best." And he also says, "Back the Haslab." I'm not disputing that the 03 Turtles are good. I'm not saying they're bad or anything. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. If I have some time, maybe I will watch it. But I've heard nothing but good things. So, yeah, it's not getting a bad word out of me. Super Turk says it was on ITV. I must have been watching Digimon on the other channel, so I must have missed it. My bad. Right, there we go. Right.
Tom says Rich is in his mansion with his hundreds of satellite channels watching all the cartoons we were missing. Yeah, he's watching them all. Silverhawks, everything. Jason the Wheel Warriors, all of them, all the hits.
Like a security surveillance room with like multiple TVs on the route, and you're just watching them all at once. That's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Okay, let's get into what am I getting into? Right, I want to do one thing first, Rich, and I hope you don't mind. If people have noticed during my reviews, I've been shouting out legendsverse.com. They hit us up for a sponsorship, and I reckon it was a perfect pairing. Let's be honest, I'm a Marvel Legends channel, and the website is about organising your collection. And I genuinely think if you're a Legends collector, it's worth checking out. No pressure at all, but links are in the description. So I'm just going to play that ad real quick. It's a 30-second ad. Enjoy. And again, click the link, save it in your tab, and go and check it out a little bit later after the show, all right? But I'm going to play the link, Legends Verse. Let me introduce you to legendsverse.com, a place all Marvel Legends collectors are going to want to know about. If you are looking for an easy way to keep track of your collection, what figures you have, and create wish lists, then Legendsverse can do all of this and so much more. It's a comprehensive Marvel Legends database that once you have added your collection, gives you stats like how many figures you own, how many waves and builder figures you have completed, and how much your collection is worth right now. Organize your collection in teams, upload photos of each figure, look at price guides, and share your collection with friends by showcasing your own profile. Go and sign up and see for yourself. Legendsverse.com. There you go, legendsverse.com, links in the description. I have actually got the website up real quick, just to show. Like, I started to add my collection. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to put your collection in there. You have to, like, sign up, and then you have to go through the figures, and literally, like, you can go through them by waves, or, like, by character, or by teams, and you can literally just go through and, like, click what you've got. So, like, I don't have the Quantumania wave yet, so obviously I still need to add that to my collection, for example. So I haven't added this to my collection yet. But once you go through the whole wave, whole sort of list, and start adding them, it gives you all these stats. I'm not adding a custom, and like, so this is a bit crazy. So again, I don't even think I'm complete or I'm finished yet, but currently it's say I have 1,100 figures, and look at that, look how much I spent on Marvel Legends. That is like scary to look at. But look how much my collection is appreciated. Like, this is justification to the missus. This is. If she ever asks, I'll be like, look, this is a great investment. My legends have went up by like 10k.
Did you deduct £20,000 for like all the free ones you got? Yeah?
Definitely not. Don't start stirring that pot again. I spend my own money on these fuckers. They honestly, it's worth checking out. It gives you some interesting stats. It has price guides. You organise stuff by teams, etc., etc. You can create grails, wish lists. Currently, my most valuable Marvel legend in my collection is the Sentinel. And look at this man.
Doomed
This
Customs
man is far too good.
$50. Hello, ya sexy gents. My week doesn't feel complete without Dan and Rich.
He gives us super chats and he gives us compliments. That is why I love this man. Doom Customs, thank you so much. He says, hello, you sexy gents. He must be talking to you, Rich.
Obviously.
My week doesn't feel complete without Dan and Rich. Doom Customs, you are far too generous, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Doom Customs, you're an absolute legend, my friend. Absolute fucking legend. I've run out of words to say.
In work this week, someone asked me, had I like dyed my beard? But it's not. It's just sweat. That's what it is. It's just like normal.
I got money in the bank.
And then let's see how Friday pronounces it.
Olsen donated €10. Hey guys, I hope Hasbro doesn't decide to take new costumes or ones from the MCU, but rather ones from the 60s, 70s, or 80s.
I agree. So I apologise for the record if I'm saying your name wrong, but I'm going to say Ozen. I'm super dyslexic.
There's an L in it, Olsen.
But my brain doesn't compute that. I told you I'm super dyslexic with words. I need to hear it. But he celebrating the first super chat and a channel membership. So I need to learn how to say this name. Thank you so much. He says, hey guys, I hope Hasbro doesn't decide to take new costumes or ones from the MCU, but rather ones from the 60s, 70s and 80s. Absolutely agree, 1000%. I feel very, very confident sort of saying it is not going to be an MCU Giant Man. Not an MCU Giant Man. Like that, with all the teasers they've been showing, it's not an MCU Giant Man. And yeah, the costumes, that's the debate. And that's what me and Rich are going to talk about right now, is like, what different costume could we possibly use or see, and what tiers. So that's the exact conversation we're going to get into now. So that's perfectly set us up. So thank you so much, and much appreciated for the super chat. Much appreciated. And Eric Streams there as well says, just joined Legendsverse. Perfect. As I said, they're sponsoring the channel. They're sponsoring the wave of the Disney Plus wave, so it's much appreciated. So yeah, happy days. Again, it makes perfect sense. Now, what else makes perfect sense is talking about a Giant Man. So let's just get straight into it, Rich. So our first card here that you have graciously put together for us is Avengers 1 and 2. So are we going back to like their original looks from their Avengers appearances? And this is also the look we've already got in the Toy Biz days, correct?
Yeah, so this is going right back to the start. So again, it is the 60th anniversary of the Avengers with Beyond Earth Might. Yes, that's like the theme for this year. That's been like the summer theme that we've had. And when this Haslab was first teased, that was like the background that they used. It was going to tie into Avengers Beyond Earth Might. Yes, that was going to be. So why not go back to the very, very beginning of all? Like, we've never had a classic Wasp figure. She's much overdue. So basically, what we're going to do with all these waves is kind of like break it down into like a base offering of a giant figure and a 6-inch figure, and then like some tiers as well. So Giant Man is going to be the big figure. So expect 6 Giant Mans of varying degrees in this. But yeah, the first one is the classic Hank Pym from Avengers issue 2. A lot of people say the Avengers issue 1 set, but in Avengers issue 1, Hank Pym was Ant-Man, not Giant Man. So you would need like a little Ant-Man, I think, in this, or a new full-bodied version Ant-Man, like somewhere in this as well to like complete the team. But if you can get a Giant Man, like the perfect pairing for him is the Janet Van Dyne Wasp in a classic costume, which we've never had, and they could do a good job at now. Yeah,
so as Rich said, we're just having a fun conversation. We're just going to look at different costumes and look at different ways they could give us this Haslab. By no means are these our predictions. We're just having some fun, all right? But just starting off with this, Rich, do we reckon, as a bare minimum base offering, we need to get Giant Man and a figure? Or are we likely just going to see Giant Man and nothing, and it's all going to be unlocks? Because I think, as a base offering here, I want Giant Man and a figure. Like, I want, even if it's not Wasp, again, we'll look at the options, but I think as a base offering for here, I want the Giant Man and a figure at least, like we got with the Sentinel. We got the big Sentinel, and then we got Sentinel Prime or Bastion or whatever it was originally. So I want Giant Man, and whether it's a smaller version of that Giant Man or even better, like you've suggested here, the original Wasp. I reckon that's what we need, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the bare minimum, this is what we need. So I don't think this will just be it, because I think Giant Man as a figure, like even with all the different costumes we're going to go through and stuff like that, he's a very plain, it's a very basic, like guy in Lycra, basically, a giant guy in Lycra. Like, it's just an oversized Marvel Legend back body. It's not like Galactus or Sentinel, where you need like all this like extra tooling, all these overlays, all this armor, all these like mechanics for the Sentinel. Like, he's not gonna light up by that. Like, I don't think, unless you can have
don't need light up features. Just don't bother, Hasbro.
Punch Janet in the face. Whoa, can't say that. Like, what else? What can you do? There's no light up features I think you could do with this. So I think like it should be like a basic, like good bodied, like whatever size it's going to be. But then again, it's going to depend things on price, stuff like that. What it's going to be? Is it going to be multiple giant men in one? But I think it will be one, and I think the price will be lower than past Haslabs is my guess.
Yeah, we will discuss price. We'll do some price predictions when we went through these. But let's keep going through these here. So if let's just say this is it. So Giant Man, they show Giant Man, and it's in his classic look from the second Avengers appearance, or second Avengers #2, and Wasp. First of all, can I just say, if that is it, that's a great start, by the way, because that's the Giant Man costume I think I want, and of course that's Janet from the Avengers as well. So already at this point, I'd be like, right, I'm happy with this base offering. So now we're going to suggest some good tiers that would match this base offering, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
and I think that, and going off last year's Engine of Vengeance, hopefully they've learned that. I hope that they show everything at once. I don't know if they will, but I think if everyone can see what they're getting up front, like if it hits all the tiers. But I think as well, this base here needs more than just these. Like I said, like a couple of ants, a little Ant-Man, a little Wasp, like other things as well. Like, this is really basic for what it is, I think. And then it comes to, it will then be questioned, like, is this worthy of a Haslab? I think that's the biggest thing with Giant Man, is that he's had figures before released, like, as part of, like, deluxe figures or as Build-A-Figure waves. So it's going to be how they do this. How are they going to sell it to us? Which will be interesting to see tomorrow.
I agree. I think Hasbro needs a win here. I would just like a solid product where I see the value, and just a solid addition to my collection. Like, sometimes I don't like the politics of trying to dissect companies. Sometimes I sometimes just want to blindly, selfishly enjoy the characters and the figures on my shelf. But this is a hot topic, so that's why we're discussing it. So we will discuss what we think the price is going to be and how tall we think is going to be. We will discuss all that, but let's just go through some costume ideas and some tier ideas. So let's just say they revealed it, and it's Giant Man from the Avengers, and it's Wasp as a base offering. What could the tiers possibly be to complement this base offering? Then Richard suggested a gold Iron Man, Credible Hulk, and Thor. Talk us through your brain here. I obviously know where you're going with this, and I'm sure the chat can clock on as well, but this is all Avengers, right?
This is the classic Avengers from Avengers issue 1. So again, and with all these figures, it's not like you're excluding anyone by not getting Haslab, because all these figures exist in other forms. Like Iron Man is the simplest one, because it's just a repaint of the 60th anniversary silver Iron Man that we just got released. Like Hulk, you do like a more curvy, classic looking design, and the same with Thor, give him the classic and update the body onto like a pinless body as well. So I think this as a set would be great. I mean, it's like, it's in one, you've got your Avengers team done. Like Thor, Iron Man and Hulk are bigger than standard figures. Like Hulk could be bigger again. So you could get different like sizes of figures in this. And it's just a good line. It's a team done in one type of thing. Yeah,
like a team Haslab essentially, but they're just done through the tiers. The Iron Man, by the way, like would be a repaint of the one you've just mentioned. But that makes sense. It's not like a cash grab where they're just repainting it for the sake of repainting it. It's a repaint that makes complete sense to the canon of Marvel. So like, I don't think it's one that people would be too mad about. So I think Iron Man in the gold is a good shout. I do think that's a figure we're going to get eventually, whether or not it's in the Haslab. Thor is an update we need as well. Especially we've just been getting that that 80th anniversary one reused. We got it with the Ragnarok, and that deserves like pinless joints. Like a Thor deserves the current standard of action figures. And then Hulk, everyone loves Hulk. I know Adam Batman Moran would definitely buy another Hulk with the Kirby head. So yeah, I think as a package here, that would be a solid package. Again, if the value's there and blah blah blah, but it looks good. It looks good. Like if let's just say, Rich, that is it, and it's a good price. We won't talk about price yet, but that is the Haslab with the tiers, and it's a good price. Would that intrigue you?
It would intrigue me, but this lineup like this I don't think it would sell it to me just yet. Because again, I can get all these characters on my shelf in other forms, like maybe not in this exact look. Like for a team and a massive Avengers fan, this would be great. But again, I'm an X-Men guy. Avengers are not my first, second, third, or fourth love. But it is a nice looking set. And again, prices, extras, way things do it could swing me over.
Okay, let's keep going through then. So what else we got here? So next up, you've gone for a Giant Men theme, and you throw up another...
Yeah, because they're...
Go on.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, you throw up a Giant Man again, and Goliath this time as well, who would come in a little bit shorter. So again, this would be a base offering two bigger figures, but bigger than the 6-inch, essentially.
Yeah, basically. So this is the second Giant Man, technically third Giant Man costume, but this is more of his, I think, more well known than the other one with the dot on it. So this one would have different versions of Giant Man. So this is Goliath, but this is not the Hank Pym version of Goliath. This is the Clint Barton version of Goliath, where Clint had, he had the sail and the bear midriff as well.
Red Foreman again, thank you so much.
$4.99. How has No said the most important classic Avengers character, Jarvis? Perfect deep cut and never been made yet.
I think you need to keep watching. Red Foreman. Rich knows his stuff. And we've still got a few slides to go through. But thank you very much, Red Foreman. He says, how has no one said the most important classic Avengers character, Jarvis? Perfect deep cut and they've never made him yet. We may discuss Jarvis shortly. But stay tuned. But yeah, we're on the same wavelength there. Okay, so right, this is what you've put as a base offering. Looks pretty good. Moving on. So, okay, the theme continues. Atlas is a character we've not had. Bill Foster we haven't had since maybe the Marvel Universe figures had a Bill Foster, right? That you could sort of fudge in with your Legends, but it just never wasn't quite right. And then the last one I'm unfamiliar with. I'm guessing is a more modernised representation of Giant Man.
Yeah, that's the latest guy to have the Giant Man moniker. So that's Raz Malhotra. He's from the Scott Lang Ant-Man series.
Okay, so like, how long ago was that?
Oh, about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, so very recent.
He's the most recent one, yeah.
Yeah, very recent. Okay, so the first sort of set definitely intrigues me more, that Avengers vibe, than this. But this does have a few character designs that I would love to add to my collection. Like Atlas is an Avenger as well that we need. Bill Foster, I'd love an opportunity to get as well. Like that, I even like that Giant Man costume. If that's the Giant Man costume we get, I wouldn't be mad at that either. That's still, when I think Giant Man, the costumes sort of blur in my head. As long as it's the blues and the reds with some sort of stripes or something on his front, minimalist, then I'll be okay. But yeah, and again, I'm just trying to check the chat as we go through, see what people think. People like the idea of that Avengers one for sure. That sort of complete a team within the Haslab sort of concept. What do you think about this one? If it was like Giant Man, all different forms of Giant Man, as you can see here. Again, those tiers. Would you be intrigued in any? Doing Customs is at it again. Doing Customs, stop it. Go to bed.
Doomed Customs donated $50. What makes this complicated? 1. Original ML Giant Man came with 8 figures at a cost of $200. 2. It should be big 3. It should come with some unique figures. Repaints won't cut it.
I got money in the bank.
Back to that, we got another super chat.
Sandico donated $4.99. I do love a Giant Man. As long as he's over 10 inches, I'll be well satisfied. Looking face.
He does love a Giant Man. As long as it's 10 inches, he'd be well satisfied. Thank you very much, Sadiko. Would 10 inches satisfy you, Rich?
Shut up, Dan. I'm not answering that question.
I'm on about Giant Man. I reckon it'd be far too small for a Giant Man myself. I think it needs to be bigger than 10 inches.
I think with
Dirty
this,
mind
with
going.
with this lineup, I think what the interesting thing they could do with this is rather than being like one big figure and then all these like 6-inch figures with a selection of Giant Man, you could do varying sizes of them as well.
Yeah.
So like you could have like a 20-inch Goliath, 12-inch Giant Man, Atlas, different sizes, like variant, and like with Ras Malhotra, that is also the modern day Hank Pym
So you can
Giant
get
Man
him
costume as well.
6
So you just
inch?
need a new. You could just need a new head,
Okay.
and then you've got 2-in-1 as well, type of thing.
Okay.
So and this one appeals to me more because it's characters we haven't got before.
That's what I was about to say. Like, wouldn't this annoy you if like this was the only way recently to get Atlas, Bill Foster? What's he saying? Rich is definitely
dyed my beard. I have not dyed my beard.
I don't know. I never even
The
noticed
light-
anything
look.
different for the record.
Look, you can still see the greys and everything. It's not dyed.
I didn't. I thought you just looked like you had your nice beard today. I didn't think nothing different of it. Home
Thank you,
Dude.
Dan.
Oh, Home Dude also says a school head would be awesome, like the old Walmart exclusive. Let me scroll back up for a second to Doom Custom Super Chat because he brings a good point. He says the Marvel Legend originally, just think the original Build-A-Figure was essentially a free figure, wasn't it? Like that's the idea of the Build-A-Figure. You get rewarded for buying the whole wave, the whole set. So essentially, that old Toy Biz Build-A-Figure was a reward for your loyalty to the line, but it did require 8 figures. But around £200, again. Just that for inflation, it would probably be a little bit more now. But he also says there shouldn't be any repaints. It should be all new stuff, which I do sort of agree with. For a Haslab, I do think this is where you're getting people to put their money down. Let's get the newest stuff available here. You can give us repaints throughout the year. Like that's why I think that Iron Man, as much as I want it, doesn't need to be in the Haslab. But it is one we're going to get eventually, I'm sure. So yeah, repaints won't cut it. I think we need to see a giant ant. A giant ant. I think we did get a Marvel Legends or a Marvel Universe giant ant from the movie line. I think that you could sort of fudge in back a while back.
Was it not in the pack? It was
In the pack.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But it was a smaller Ant-Man. It was like another weird Marvel Universe sort of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Home Dude, and to a Hero Collections, aka Brandon. CJ Hess is down there as well. I'll wait for Friday to pop that up. Just real quick while we're waiting for that to pop up. If Atlas and Bill Foster were the tiers, would that annoy you that was the way to get them? Like, are they characters you want?
It would pull me in. Yeah, those
okay.
Atlas for like the classic Thunderbolt. That would be a character those would pull me in more than the
Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's probably where I'd put in Thunderbolts.
JC
CJ,
Hesh donated $5. They need to pull out all the stops. I want a yellow jacket, classic Wasp and Ultron and giant soft goods lab coat.
Giant
Do
soft
it,
goods.
Hasbro.
Giant. We don't even get regular size soft goods. I wouldn't expect, unless they put the Pym particles in Hank's Beast's recent lab coat.
Make it the same size as Beast, and then they'll just put it straight on. That's what they'll do.
But yeah, JC says they need to pull out all the stops. I want a yellow jacket, classic Wasp, Ultron, and a giant soft goods lab coat. Do it, Hasbro. I don't think they will. I don't think we're getting any giant soft goods, but yellow jacket, classic Wasp, maybe an Ultron. Maybe that Ultron was teased in that very first picture. Maybe he's the lead villain. Maybe. Right, let's keep going back to this then. Okay, so there's like a second suggestion of what could be. And like Rich said, those individual unique characters would pull him in a little bit more than the repaints of the first sort of suggestion. Next up, you've got the Hall of Hank. Now, I like the name already, Rich. I'm not going to lie. I like the name already. So yeah, there's the big lab coat JC just talked about.
See, I'm like predicting the future. Look at me. But yeah, so this would be, I think a lot of suggestions for this have gone, because Hank Pym has had so many different code names, so many different looks over the years. You could essentially do a Haslab, which is just filled with Hank Pym. Kind of like what that STCC set did with all the different sizes. So again, this is Giant Man in his classic look. This is his 90s look with his harness and his like combat trousers on as well. So it is a very 90s, but it fits in with like Cersei, with Black Knight that we've had before. And again, if we're going for the Beyond Earth Mighty celebrating the whole 60 years, why not go for this, which is a different look for Giant Man, one we'd never had in figure form before. And pairing with him is a classic Ant-Man. Now, we've just had the Scott Lang version of Ant-Man, But this would be like all pinless, completely updated. Give us an alternate head. Give him a jacket as well. Jackets for everyone, Dan.
If Hasbro want to piss people off and start off another Engine of Vengeance riot, this is what they would do. Because we've just got that Ant-Man re-released from Target exclusive without the upgrade, so people would be pissed off if they gave us the upgraded version in the Haslab. And also, I think this is more obscure costume for Giant Man, that it would put too many of the casuals off. Because it's not instantly recognizable. So I reckon instantly this base offering, as interesting as it is, to the general Marvel Legends consumer, would annoy more than it would please. Before we look at the tiers, because I think the tiers would be more intriguing, I just want to bring up, this is the pack we keep alluding to. This is the Marvel Universe Hankman pack. I'm not sure if it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it was definitely an exclusive to somewhere. We never got it in the UK. I think it might have been on Kapow, but I wasn't going to pay for it back then. So it was like a multiple scaled version, and it's basically a 12-inch figure. The Goliath is a 6-inch figure. The Hank Pym with the lab coat is a 3 3/4-inch figure, and so on and so on. So that's how it was sort of scaled. And if you compare that to the Toy Biz Builder figure, that's what you look like. So they're the two versions of Giant Man we have gotten so far in Marvel Legends, essentially, technically, I guess. Marvel Universe, Marvel Legends. So that's all we've got so far. So I reckon Hasbro can obviously upgrade and improve what they've currently done. As I said, it's been 16 bloody years since that Builder figure. So yeah, so we're already looking at improvement. Back to this.
Ali Patterson
Ali
donated
thank you very much,
£20.
Ali.
Giant Man, classic, with big fat alternate character heads. Ultimate Giant Man? Skrull Giant Man?
Interesting. Now, let me jump back to this. Where's my chat? So thank you very much, Ali. He says, Giant Man Classic. Now, this man knows his legends. I think this guy literally has every Marvel legend ever. He sent me a video recently of him with them all in boxes. I was asking him what was he doing with them, but the poor things need to be on display. He says, classic Giant Man, absolutely, with big fat alternative character heads. Ultimate Giant Man, Skrull Giant Man. Would you like that, Rich, if they gave... Because I was pissed off when they gave us the Doom head with Galactus. So like, hang on, we got another super chat from the Hulkling.
Hulk King Loves Hulk donated $10. Why doesn't anybody think about buy Beast for the next Haslab or Fin Fan Fang Foom? And even Hulkbuster mega figure. Sorry, I know I'm a Hulk addict.
Hulkling, no need to apologise. Thank you so much for the super chat. And your first super chat as well. Thank you so much. A couple of newbies today, Rich. I like it. People are excited to talk about the Haslab. But maybe that positive energy is coming back into the community. Maybe, Rich. Or maybe, just maybe. Don't do that, Rich. Don't give me hope. That's what I feel like the chat's giving me at the minute. I just feel like Hawkeye going, don't give me hope, chat. Positive vibes. I like it. Back to Ali real quick. So what were you about to say? You didn't look like you were about to say anything positive about the interchangeable head things.
No, I was. Skrull Giant Man would be my top of all.
Wow,
Give me a Skrull Giant Man and I would back it. Because who did Skrull Giant Man get pregnant?
I don't know, Tigra? Fucking...
It was Tigra!
Yeah, I thought
he stuck his big giant dick in Tigra and got her. She had a little Skrull baby that she'd give to the cat people and left in there and fucked off. But yeah, Tigra and like Hank Pym and the Avengers Initiative was like this little love story going on. And then it turned out he was a bloody Skrull. So I would love a Skrull head. And that's an easy alternate thing as well.
Ali's cracked the code. Ali's got Rich. There you go. Hasbro, if you want Rich's money, you should have spoken to Ali.
Give me a Skrull.
Because he wants the Skrull. So that's a great choice. I was pissed off when they gave us the Doom head with the Galactus. Like I think only bloody Jesse Falcon wanted that and he probably put it in there as a joke just to laugh, where everyone else was like pissed off. Does anyone display their Galactus with that fucking Doom head? I don't think anyone does. So
you can display it with your crystal when that comes out, Jesse fucking Falcon.
But this, I wouldn't be mad at the Skrull stuff. Again, building out your Skrull army, a Skrull Giant Man would be very impressive. And then back to Hulkling's comment where he says, why doesn't anyone think about the Boy Beast for the next Haslab or the Fin Fan Foom or even a Mega Hulkbuster figure? I wouldn't be mad at any of them. And I do think Fin Fan Foom has got to be high on a potential list for Haslabs in the future. Obviously, we're about to get another one tomorrow, so we're not talking about any new Haslabs until next year or the year after that or the year after that. But if they stay in characters rather than going to vehicles or playsets, Fin Fan Foom's got to be up there, ain't he? So maybe, if you're patient, Hulkling, maybe. Do you think, Rich?
I think we've got more chance of them than another vehicle, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think vehicle's probably off the menu for about 10 years.
I've always said I'm an Iron Man guy, so I'd love a Hulkbuster. I don't think it needs to be a Haslab, but maybe they could do like a Hall of Armor sort of thing. Maybe, I don't know. But fun ideas, Hulkling, fun ideas, and I appreciate your very first super chat. Thank you so much. Right, let's go back and see what Rich had suggested for these Hall of Hank tiers, okay? So, as I said, so far, I think people would be pissed at this, but let's see if we can win them back with the tiers. Okay, now I think you're winning people back. Okay, this is where you get them. And this is what will piss people off more, because they want Yellow Jacket, and they don't want the base offering. So you've gone for Yellow Jacket, Wasp, and Goliath, but that's the Hank Pym as the mantle as Wasp, so it's not any of the female versions of Wasp, obviously. And Goliath is someone that we already got, as I've just shown. We've technically already got a 6-inch version of Goliath in Marvel Legends form, right there. So they could, I guess, put that, and that, again, it's quite obscure, again, not easily ready available, maybe. So what?
They'd have to update him. They couldn't just put that back
Oh,
in.
no way. They're not giving us a Bucky Cat body as a third, the last unlock, the third tier.
That was never unlocked.
They've been hyping it up for weeks. What is that third tier? It's a Bucky Cat repaint, re-release. Oh, that last day is going to be flooded with backers. But Yellow Jacket, I reckon, has to be on their radar. Like, we haven't had Yellow Jacket since like the dark days of the Target exclusives, and I think he's a character design that is needed to be upgraded in our sort of Avengers world. So I'd love to see a Yellow Jacket in a lineup. And that, I'm guessing that version of Hank Pym as the Wasp was very obscure, didn't last too long, more of a gimmick than anything.
Yeah, it was when like Janet died in the 616 for a bit, and then Nadia was the Wasp. Nadia was a vision of Wasp, and he was Wasp as well, so there was like the two of them together.
There you go. But there you go. Hall of Hanks. I'm disappointed how far Hank didn't creep in there anywhere, but still, I like it. Again, they're all character designs that I would like in the collection. Like, I just think as a Haslab, it would be a little bit muddled and wouldn't please enough as the sort of general sort of casual. Just think the Haslabs, they want to get those casuals in. They do big marketing campaigns and all that stuff. So, yeah.
But then I think like say a 12-inch giant man, like a traditional giant man costume, I think that could sell as a standalone figure anyway.
I agree.
So like Haslab, I don't think should be more like targeted type things. I don't think they should be something that you could just sell in a shop. Again, that's just me. No,
I also think a giant man would sell. Like, what? How much was that fucking Super Adaptoid recently? About 80 quid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'd pay an extra 20 quid on top of that to get a decent scale giant man. Do you know, like, I also don't think the character giant man needs to be a Haslab. But here we are. So let's hope they make it worth our while. All right, what else we got?
Got money in the bank.
Have we got a super chat there? Or I'm just going to see what Friday says. On the Friday can't, because it's only $1. So, weenie short M. Eeny weeny short M, I guess that says. It says, could we see an Ultron repaint as a tier? No. That's my answer to that. No. I don't think so. We've got 2 Ultrons recently, and that was a repaint of the other one. So, no, I don't think we're going to get an Ultron.
We might see some kind of Ultron, though. Keep watching.
Yeah. In today's list, in our guessing games, maybe, but I don't think in the actual one you will. Eeny weeny short man, whoever you are, thank you for the $1. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so next up, you've gone for the Pym family. So here's a more modernised version of the Giant Man outfit. And to be honest, I reckon this is the one they might go for. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's the popular choice, but I think it's the one they're going to go for.
I think that as well, because this is the one that you could do the Raz head with it, and you could do a Squirrel head with it as well. So you've already got like alternate things for like if you will. Because the thing with Giant Man, it's not really an army builder, just this one figure. Yep. Like you can't really fudge it in. But then if you put those 3 heads, well, you've got 3 separate characters by there, so it might entice some people to get more than one. Interesting.
Yeah. I just think, based off all the promo images and the teasers they've been doing, those series of 7 pictures. It's all it's amalgamation of some classic design, some modern design. So it's like, I just see them going in this direction and just moving away from what the Toy Biz was. I don't know. We shall see. But again, I wouldn't be mad at it if it was. I just don't think it would be the most popular choice. If we did a poll on what design, maybe we'll do a poll on what costume people want before we end today. But there you go. So this is the more modernised Giant Man with a more modernised Wasp. So the Pym family here. So what's your thinking here? Just all out love relationships.
Yeah, so this is the Nadia version of Wasp, who is Hank's daughter from his first marriage. So again, she's needed to build out the champions, and also for that all new, all different era of Avengers. She's like the last character missing to complete that team as well. So I think she's like not as popular as Janet. So to put her as a Haslab, it's an original character, but it's like an easier way. Like I think more people would like Janet than her. So I don't think like people are going to be as pissed off if she's in this kind of thing.
I can see in the chat, Mini Plastic Multiverse, Tom says, I'm out if they do this design. See what I mean? I told you, people, this isn't the design people want. But I'm concerned. I genuinely think this could be it. Again, I don't know how confident I would be to bet on that, but it's, I don't know. Okay, let's see what Rich has gone for with the unlockable tiers here. Okay. Oh, interesting. These look fun. Okay, so we've got Tier 1 Wasp, then Modam, and Pym Ultron. So we did see an Ultron. So break these down for us, Rich.
So Wasp, of course, Giant Man's second wife, Janet Van Dyne, like in her more modern day costume to go with this one. Then we've got Modam, who for a time was thought to be Hank Pym's first wife, who was like brainwashed and made into Modam. But it turns out she wasn't. She was just so confused that she thought she was her, but she wasn't. That would make her Nadia's mother, but it turned out Nadia's mother was just killed off. And Modam is a completely different character, but she ties in to that because for a brief time she was his ex-wife.
Entangled.
And then entangled up to it. And then Pym Ultron is, of course, the Ultron when him and Hank Pym merge together. So you get this like cyborg, like half Ultron, half man type of thing. It'd be an interesting sculpt, and it's a way to get Ultron into this line. I think as well, like we said about like different like add-ons like Ant-Man's and Little Ants, a classic like Ultron Mark 1, like we should say like a little robot head, like a bit like that kind of like thing on like a stand like Herbie. That would be a good little add-on you could add into this type of thing. And then, like I said before, you get the 3 heads for Giant Man. You could get the Raz head, and you could get the Skrull head as well.
This would be very interesting. It's a more modernised approach, obviously, but I do like the Giant Man and Wasp sort of matching combination then. Pym Ultron undoubtedly would be a good-looking figure, let's be honest, like a cyborg type of guy if they did it right. Modam, like, I'm sure she's on many people's wish lists, but the MODOK figure was good, let's be honest. The MODOK figure was a good figure, whether you like the character or not. They executed that design very well in plastic, so if they just did that with the female sort of vibe, I'm sure it'd be another great figure. But again, I just think, do people want the modern design? I don't know. Again, for the reasons you said, with the interchangeable heads, that's the type of lane I could see Hasbro preferring. I could see that just going off the Doom head we got with Galactus. They like to go obscure, and they don't always give us figures for as add-ons. The last time, the Engine of Vengeance was meant to be all figures, but that didn't pass, did it? That didn't get funded. So maybe they might go back to accessories as add-ons, and those accessories would be interchangeable heads. So interesting, but curious. And again, we will do a poll on what costume we'd prefer at the end. I think that'd be interesting to see. But the Pym family, with this, if this was it, Rich, would you get this?
This one appeals to be more. Like, again, it's a bunch of like original characters. And again, like I like the modern day version of Wasp. I like her costume, and I like this version of Giant Man. Like I said, I think of all of them, if this costume was in there, I know Tom doesn't like it, but I like this Giant Man probably the most.
I'm the same. I don't feel as strongly as Tom. Like, I think I'm leaning more towards the classic look, what the Toy Biz did, and just update that design. But I wouldn't be mad at this one for a more modernised look with your Avengers. And like Rush is alluding to in the chat, if people have this one already, and then they go ahead and give us a bigger Giant Man of the Haslab, then you can start creating that sort of Pym particle effect on your shelf, and you still utilise some of those figures in your collection. So maybe options. I always say options are never a bad thing. So there we have the Pym family. And then I told you, where's Red Foreman gone? Red Foreman, are you still here? Because Rich already knew, my friend. Rich hadn't forgotten about this deep cut Avengers character. It is, of course, the Avengers butler, Jarvis, always looking after that Avengers mansion. So this is an Avengers assembled theme with the design of Giant Man I hadn't seen until Rich sent me this picture. If I have seen it on a panel, it jumped out my brain and completely forgot about it. But we have talked about Jarvis on the channel before, and I absolutely want a Jarvis. So this intrigues me already. Where's you going here, Rich? What's this design about?
So yeah, this is, I think, technically the first version of Giant Man. So I think even before he was in the Avengers...
Tales to Astonish Giant Man.
Yeah, this was like the costume that he used with like the big helmet and everything. So it's kind of like an overlay on the existing body. So you could technically get a 2-in-1 type of thing, or have this like as an additional like add-on to like the classic version of Giant Man. And then we've got Jarvis in here, who is like Red Foreman said, like a much missed member of the Avengers crew.
I want him.
And he comes with a vacuum cleaner.
I want the vacuum
too.
too.
In your collection?
I want it.
But like, I think with Jarvis, like if you look at the Sentinel when that came with like Bastion, I do think Bastion was like an A-list character type of thing, but he was for people who love the X-Men, he fitted in with the Sentinel, and it was a great figure to get. So I think Jarvis fits in with this, and obviously it's the theme of the year is Beyond Earth's Mighty. Yes, it's not Beyond Giant Man. So why not go out and look at other things? I personally don't think it will be an Avengers Assemble theme.
Okay, one second. Compulsive Collector.
Compulsive Collector donated
$6.66. Very evil of you.
I also hope they avoid modern characters and costumes because I wouldn't even be slightly tempted by 60s or 70s looking designs.
Thank you so much, Compulsive Collector. He says, I also hope they avoid modern characters and costumes because I wouldn't even be slightly tempted by 60s or 70s designs. He says. It means it would tempt him. Maybe dangerous, Compulsive Collector. Maybe going down that classic route. But again, we shall see. We shall see tomorrow. Again, we only have to wait until tomorrow. In 24 hours' time, we're going to know all the answers to these questions we keep asking. But back to what you were saying, Rich. You wouldn't or would, did you say?
Yeah, so I don't think an Avengers Assemble theme will happen, purely because I think the ones that backed, Galactus and Sentinel, like all the figures in the Sentinel wave tied into the Sentinel, and all the figures in the Galactus wave tied into Galactus. Whereas last year, it was just like a hodgepodge. It was like the Supernatural. Like Madeline Pryor has never interacted with the Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider at all. So it just felt a bit more thrown together. So I think then they might not do that this year, although all these are characters that I would love. So there we go.
Okay, let's have a look then. Let's see what Rich picks. Oh, okay. See, this is it. These are characters we need in the collection. So I'd be happy with this. But let's break it down. So it would be Swordman as a tier. Crystal, I think, would piss people off as a tier, unless it's in a different costume, which I think you've done intentionally there. And then Jack of Hearts. So all former Avengers and all characters we are genuinely missing in the modern Hasbro era. We haven't had a Jack of Hearts ever, right? Swordsman has never. No, and Crystal ever. Maybe in the 3 3/4 line, maybe I can't remember. But
never
again. Okay, there you go then. There you go. So, as an Avengers sort of setup, I like the look of this, Rich. So, what did you pick these ones?
So again, it's Beyond This Might celebrating 60 years. So you've got Giant Man from the 60s, you've got Swordsman from the 70s, and if you go in like chronological order of who joined the Avengers, Swordsman is like the earliest one that's missing. So we've had everyone up until Swordsman. So we put him in. This is Crystal in her 90s look. So it's not her classic yellow jumpsuit, which will hopefully not piss people off then because they can get her further down the line to go there in Humans. But this look fits in with that Cersei and Black Knight again. So you cross that and you're like, oh, I'll go and pick up the Amazon pack now so I can put Crystal in with them for like my own little love triangle. That's and true. Jack of Hearts joined the Avengers in the 2000s, but he was around way before that. And he's just a great looking character. And I don't think like he's got the appeal to be like a single release character in a wave. I think he's got a very unique look, and putting him in a Haslab would be a great thing.
Yeah, this would be interesting to see if it was something like this, which was like obscure Avengers characters or obscure designs, how the community would approach that. Like, would they be annoyed that this is the only way to get these characters, or I would be intrigued to see how the community feel about this. But I do like these character choices. Like, if these were randomly the tier unlocks, I wouldn't be mad at it, because but I'm already somebody who already wants the Giant Man. Like, of course, depends on price and all of that stuff, but I already would like to add a Giant Man to my collection. So if these can come as a bonus, then yes, please. Crystal's someone, out of all of that, Crystal, I don't know why, I just really, really want. I think she fills many gaps on the shelf, whether it's in Humans or Avengers, or like that love triangle with Cersei, like you said. So she's desperately needed as well. Because I already have my Lockjaw. I've got my Mezco Lockjaw. I don't even need Hasbro to give me a Lockjaw, Rich. I just need a Crystal. That's what I need. But there we go. So Very nice selection from Rich there. So let's quickly run through these. We had like an Avengers Assemble style theme. We already had the Pym family as well, with a nice mix of different family members of Hank and Janet, etc. Then we had the Hall of Hanks with no Hellfire Hank or saxophone, sadly. So I'm out. I'm out on that one. And then we had the Giant Men. We've already had people making too many innuendos in the chat, so I'll move on swiftly. And then we had the Avengers, like first and second issue, where we've seen Giant Man and the Wasp, etc. So a nice little round out there. So I'm curious. Let's go. Let me jump to the chat now. I'm going to end the poll that's currently happening actually in the chat. So the poll asks the question: if the value is there and if it's a good base offering, do you even want a Giant Man in your collection, right? Because some people may not even want Giant Man. They may just not care, and that's fair enough. And it's not too far away here. 59% say yes, they want a Giant Man, and 41% say nope, they're not backing regardless. And that's fair enough. They may just not want a Giant Man. But I'm going to end this poll here so I can ask you guys the question live here now on YouTube. Do we want a classic or a modern design? All right, so I'm going to ask, what design should Giant Man be? And we'll quite simply go classic or modern. Nice and simple. And while I'm typing that, Rich, what's your preference? You've already said you wouldn't mind the modern, and you actually seem like you'd lean more towards the modern.
Yeah, I think honestly the modern one would be the one that would entice me more.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom.
It just depends. Like that would fit in with like Avengers Initiative, put in with Tigra on my shelf, like with the neon orange Tigra that I love so much. I would put them together with a little baby squirrel with him as well. Put that with Tigra, you'd have me in. Put a new Tigra in there, like that would sell me. If you put a Tigra in, yeah, I'm gonna be the only one backing it. But I would buy it.
If you want if you want Rich's money, that's how you get him. All right, the poll is now live. A brand new poll. Shout out Tyler, who's just subscribed as well. If you're watching, Tyler, say hello back in the chat. All right, we're live here on YouTube on a Thursday afternoon. What design would Giant Man be? Classic or modern? All right, already 30 votes in the chat, and you can see it moving there, Rich. So far, 77% say classic, 23% say modern. So let's keep those votes coming in, and we'll come back and have a look at that. So while that's going, all right, so the chat are currently deciding if it should be a modern or a classic design. So let's talk about size, Rich, because Amanda tells me size matters, all right? That's why she doesn't like me very much. But let's talk about size here for a minute. Sensitive subject for some blokes, but I feel as two confident men, we can talk about size here.
Yeah, we're good, Dan. We're good to go.
We're good. We can talk about size. So how big would you prefer it to be?
The thing with Giant Man is there's a limit.
Oh, we're talking about Giant Man again. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, back to Giant Man, right?
My bad.
I don't think that he should be as big as Galactus or the Sentinel. So then hopefully that will lower the price. Like Giant Man, like can grow tall and grow short. But he does. There is like limits with Giant Man's powers. Like mostly he's like skyscraper height. That's how I like peering over like the top of like the Avengers Tower or something like that. So I don't think he needs to come up to like the Sentinel or to Galactus to like if you've got all three on the shelf type of thing. And again, they've done these lower priced Haslabs before. Like the Transformers have done like these under $200, like $170 figures. Mm-hmm. So why can't it be that? I don't think it always has to be like these like $500, $600 dollar things. And I think as well is that Marvel are in the perhaps worst position of this year in that we've already did G.I. Joe, we've already did a Star Wars one just finished. Like there's other Haslabs been
£500 Ghost yesterday. Yeah, literally finished yesterday.
If you've just backed like those, it's like, have you even got the money to back this Haslab, even if you want it? Like there's all those type of things to consider. So and under like 200, 250, I'd say under 200, and I think that makes it much more palatable and much more like people will be more like trigger happy to like put that in their basket and buy it.
I would not complain at an under £200 Haslab, but what would be the point of doing a £200 Haslab when you can just put that on Pulse? There's currently items right now on Pulse that are around about that price point. So like,
but that's the whole thing with Giant Man is he's not a Galactus and he's not a Sentinel. why does this need to be a Haslab? That is a bigger question out there.
And that's why they need to make it worth our while with all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so back to size. People are surprised in the chat, by the way, that you have your limits. People are surprised to hear that. But I agree, and I think the chat would agree. Okay, so this is the part, right? In the chat, people have already started doing it, but to do it again if I missed it, how big, right, do you reckon this is going to be in inches, all right? I don't know what metric you prefer, but I'm going to say inches, okay? Everyone understands inches. What size do you prefer? Ladies and gentlemen can answer this question, and you can choose your own context. But what size would you prefer? Now, and I agree with Rich. It absolutely does not need to be Galactus. Galactus needs to remain the biggest Marvel Legends in our collection. Of course, we're not including Stiltman. Someone out there is going to say Stiltman, ain't they? But excluding Stiltman, Galactus needs to remain the biggest Marvel Legend. And I also agree. I don't think he needs to be as big as the Sentinel either. I reckon he needs to be comparable, like up there, so we can fist fight the Sentinel. But he doesn't need to be bigger than him. Where is the Sentinel here? Right, okay. So
how big is the Sentinel?
It's about 24 inches.
Okay.
So it's about 24 inches. So I think if Giant Man came up to about his chest, that would be about, I don't know, 20 inches, you say? 19, 20 inches?
I think it's got to be about 20 inches, because I think, what was Surta was 14 inches, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. And then Super Adapted is 12 inches. So it's got to be bigger than those. And
it's got to be.
By like a bigger amount as well. It can't just be like 15 inches, because then it's like, well, why didn't you just charge $100 and put it as a normal release, as a deluxe release? So I think
that's why those base offerings it's got to be more. Because if it is smaller, then they've got to give us more with the base offering. Otherwise, we're going to be arguing about exactly that point.
But then I think with the Haslab, that's always been like a problem, is that Hasbro see the value as being everything that's unlocked.
Yeah.
But people are like, well, I'm just paying for this. So then another solution to that would be put all the figures in the base offering, put like 3 figures and the Giant Man in the base offering, and then the add-ons be like alternate heads, be like giant ants, be like a little outdrawn thing, be jackets for everyone, you know, soft goods, upgrade, things like that. Like that would be a way to combat that then. So you like, if you're paying for this up front, like $200, you get a 20-inch Giant Man, 3 figures as well. And that's what you get. If it funds, that's what you get. And then the add-ons are the bits, like the crap bits that no one really wants, really. Like you're paying for like the figures. That's what I think most of us want. Is like, if you're getting a Giant Man, 3 other figures, $200, it makes more sense than one figure, one thing, and then every 4,000 or every 3,000 we'll unlock something else. Because it's like the Ghost that didn't fully fund until like the last day. It was like, it just slowly like ticks along, and then on the last day it shot up. Like that didn't happen on the Engine of Vengeance at all, and it didn't happen on the Rancor, but the Rancor was like 500 off, I think. But I just think that they should learn. My whole thing with the Haslabs is that it's not a Haslab, it's not a Kickstarter. Because with Kickstarters, they adapt. They want your money. They try to change, to move things. And I think the thing with the Engine of Vengeance last year is that this is already planned out by Hasbro years in advance. These are the tiers. This is what they missed. They couldn't alter anything. That's all they could do was lower the levels of the tiers. That was it.
Let's not forget, they did offer us that Robbie Reyes head. Just saying. Made a big difference to the community, that did. We were very overwhelmed by that decision from Hasbro. Thank you very much for the interchangeable head you're going to pack in there.
But I think with that like Engine of Vengeance, if they'd come back and said, like, we've listened to all your comments, we're going to take out all the LEDs and we're going to reduce it by $200, plus everyone gets Mephisto in the set, we're going to put him in the base offering. But they couldn't do that, because obviously the numbers are already planned for whatever it is, and that's what it pisses me off in a way, that these are Kickstarters. Again, like, why couldn't tomorrow, if they came out and just be like, this is a Giant Man, it's in stock at Hasbro Pulse now, it's $200, they would people would buy them.
I'd buy them.
So again, that's just me, and I know that this is like a controversial topic, and I'm sure there will be many videos this weekend from lots of other people. But yeah, so this is why, like, I'm not as keen on the whole Haslab thing. I haven't backed any this year at all, but I do own a Sentinel and I do own Galactus. So, you know, I can't be like telling people what to do because I bought them. So again, and I'm not saying that I won't back this one. There is a chance that they can do it with a good price and a good lineup. But the whole concept of Haslab is kind of like, it's kind of over for me. It's kind of like do something else, Hasbro. You've got your Pulse site. You can sell directly to
For
people
the
anyway.
record, I'm sure the chat and people are saying Doom Customs is saying rich for president, by the way. But people agree. I also don't think. I think if we asked everyone, if I changed this poll to do Hasbro need to do Haslabs, everyone would say no. Of course they don't. But unfortunately, we're not in control of that, so it's up to us whether we want to back it or not. And it's everyone can make their own choice. So we'll find out tomorrow if they make it worth our while. But back to the Sentinel here, because I've been feeling like a ventriloquist act for like the last 5 minutes there. But I can't do voices under my mouth. Hello. Are you going to back the Sentinel? I can't do it. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so shout out Damon Ristori, who recently sent me this a character I was missing from the Toy Biz days. So I think the Giant Man was close to this size. It was the same builder figure, wasn't it? So that doesn't even come up to his waist. So this new Giant Man has to come up to about there, I reckon. So my suggestion is probably around about the 20-inch mark or just under. That's what I'm going to say. But that's my prediction. Let's have a look at what some of the chat said, because I'm very impressed with some of the sizes that the chat are saying here. So let me have a look. Scroll up a little bit. Okay. Doom Customs started off by saying he wants it 12 foot. I want a 12-foot Giant Man. I'm not too sure if he's talking Marvel Legends or not at that point. Uncaged says 18, so similar to me, 18. Doom Custom said 24, actually. He changed his mind. So does PC Glass says 24. Justin Collects says 69. I reckon he said that for the comedic value rather than it being 69 inches. That'd be impressive. And then Cloud, what did Cloud say? Cloud says 8 inches. Oh, for Giant Man. Yep, see, Cloud gets it. Curtis says 12 to 16 inches. Antonio says 18 to 20. Codename Chief says 19. Christopher Allen says 20. Crescent Blue 015. Jamie Gitchard says 16 to 18. For me, bigger than my Surda. Yeah, absolutely needs to be bigger than Surda. Mike Heck says smaller than the Sentinel. Agreed. Craig's Nostalgia Collection says 20 inches. Arvin says 12 inches. Arvin, come on, Arvin. It's got to be bigger than that. Omar V, 18 inches. 2 figures, £200. Nice. Scotty C says between 12 and 18. Pixels and Plastic, 20 to 22. Paul says 18. Perfect for me. So does Birds in a Box. So does Damien. So does Cloud. So a lot of 18s here. So around about everyone's on the same sort of wavelength. So does Michael. 22 inches for JC. Again, another 8. So there you go. Lots of different suggestions there. And just to confirm, we were talking about the Haslab, right? Yeah, just confirming. Okay, so let's get onto the most... just before we get out of here, Rich, right? The most controversial of all topics, all right? Price point. This is going to be the deciding... Let's be honest. This will be the deciding factor for a lot of people. Whether it's a modern or classic, I think the price point is going to be the be-all, end-all here. All right? So, my thoughts are... The Galactus are like 400. Sentinel was 350, but that was like 3-4 years ago at this point. Hasbro need a win. They need a fucking win. The Marvel team do, not Hasbro as such. The Marvel team do, not Hasbro. Hasbro are winning. They're fine. They've just made like £12 million off the fucking Ghost. Hasbro are absolutely fucking fine. The Marvel sort of realm need a good win. So I reckon this should be the lowest price Haslab ever. Full stop. Period. Which would need to be under 350, right? So under £300, are we thinking?
I'd say even lower. I think it's got to be under 200. I'd say 1999.
Now, again, we're not naive people. We have seen what's going around on the internet today, and apparently people have been spreading rumors on what is it?
Yeah, but right, I'm not being funny, right? But it's always like if someone saw that go up last night, how did no one screen grab it? I think that's bullshit. Someone just made that up in the middle of the night, bored, being like, "Oh, let's post this somewhere."
Are you saying Reddit isn't a place for solid journalism?
It can be, and it can be for leaks. But I just like if I saw that last night, first thing I would be like Control F4, take a screenshot of it, and then post it everywhere. So if someone saw that last night, why didn't they post it? I think if it is that price, that is very attractive. 199.99. That is a good price for this Haslab. But then again, what size is it going to be? What's going to come with it? Again, if it's just
Were you just
a
saying
12-inch...
don't want the Haslab in German to me then?
No, I wasn't saying that. But if it was
No. I know you're against this Haslab, Rich, right? But calm down. The German came out of him.
But if it was like 199, if
Again,
it was
he's doing it
200,
again.
I'm doing 200, right? If it was 200,
part German.
but if it was 200, okay.
Yep.
But it was just a 12-inch giant man,
Yeah.
and that's a shit price.
I agree. This is what I mean. It all depends on the package here. The base offering really matters. Like, it could be the most cheapest Haslab ever, but it could be the shittest offering ever as well. Like, that doesn't help. Like, I'm not going to be like, hooray, it's the cheapest, I'm in. It's like, no, it still needs to be great, of course. So, yeah, like, it needs to be the cheapest Haslab ever. Let's have a look at what the chat is saying here. People are saying, again, it's all over the place. Again, I'm sure all these people have already seen the leaks as well. So, again, we have no idea if there's any truth to that. But To Catch a Legend says, 20 bucks. I'd be happy with that. I'm in. I want it at that price. I'd take a Giant Man for 20 bucks. Dune Custom says $225. Jamie says 230 to 250. Paul says 200. 250 top, says X. Damien says no more than 250. Take note, Hasbro. Birds in a Box says leaks aside, I say 299. The Fossil says 150. Mini Plastic Multiverse says if it's less than 275, I'll be amazed. Codename Chief says 270. Ray RT says 150 to 275, 225. Uncaged is 250 to 300. Robert says 250. California Red Devil set will be 299, which 299 would make it the cheapest Haslab ever. Not saying it's a good price, but we've just had
cheapest Marvel.
Yeah,
cheapest Marvel
that's
one.
what when I say that, I mean Marvel. Yeah, I'm assuming people knew I meant that, but yeah. So 299 is still a very fucking high price. Could have brought yourself a bloody turtle layer for that from NECA. That was also a great price. No, I'm not stirring that part. But I'm just saying, Did you back
a turtle layer?
No comment. Right. 299.
Oh, damn.
299. 299. And now I'm doing the German thing, for God's sake. Right. £299 in Hasbro's mind may think, well, this is the cheapest Marvel Haslab ever. That's great. 299. Do you know what I mean? That's how Hasbro could think. We don't know. Just think it's the directors and the boardroom making these decisions, and they could just be like, it's the cheapest Haslab, the Marvel Haslab, that would do.
I think you don't get let in the building if you say the word cheap in Hasbro.
That's true. That's very true. £200 with a ball joint hips, classic Hasbro, says X. Yeah, there's people are all over the place, but I think it genuinely depends. The Ghost, right? The Ghost just backed with over 21,000 backers, right? I think, right? And that was a £500 item. Over 21,000 people have put £500 down, and Hasbro, with the flick of a switch ending that campaign, just made like £21 million. Like, it's fucking insane, right? So, like, people are not afraid. My point is with that is the community and collectors are not afraid to spend money if they feel the value is there. So, like, if it is a $299 item, if the value is there, people will back it. If it's a $199 item, if the value is there, people will back it. So that base offering is going to make the difference, because the community see it as the base offering and the tiers as a reward for the campaign doing well and people supporting it. It can't be the full package like we have sometimes alluded to. So, yeah, it will be very interesting. But all these controversial questions will be answered tomorrow. This time tomorrow. I'm going to go live, by the way. I'm just going to go live, spontaneously live, as soon as the Hasbro stream ends. So as soon as the Hasbro stream ends, I'm not even going to do any pre-editing or anything. I'm just going to press go live and start talking to you guys straight away and break this shit down, okay? So tomorrow, what is it? About 6 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. maybe, I don't really know. Whenever it is tomorrow.
4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, so yeah, whatever time the Hasbro panel ends or the show ends, I'm going to jump on the live. Rich might not be able to make it because of work, unfortunately, but I just want to pounce. And to be fair, Rich is probably fine with that at this point, depending on how it is. We might get a call in from Rich at the end of the show, but yeah, I'm going to go live straight after again. So if you're a channel member, you maybe have to get involved and speak to me, all right? But Legend of Liquor is probably going to be the place for that, to be honest. So again, Legend of Liquor this weekend, get your name in early because it could be a heated one. Are we going to get... Where's Rush at? Rush?
Oh,
Might have to ban Rush this Sunday, depending on what happens. Rush, I love you, but let's see what this based offering is all about. I'm only joking, of course. Okay, let's go back to this poll before we get out of here to the after show, of course. 93 votes. Shall we see if we can get this poll? We've still got a couple of minutes here. Let's get this poll to 100 votes, please, people, all right? The poll simply asks the question, what design should Giant Man be? Classic or modern? All right? We need 7 more votes, and unless more than 7 people vote modern, it makes no fucking difference anyway, because classic is going to win. So I guess it doesn't matter if 7 people vote or not. Classic is 85%. Okay, so the people have spoken, Hasbro. If you're lurking in the background, it best be a fucking classic design. Otherwise, you're going to have 85% of these Marvel Legends fans not happy about it. So there you go. Classic, modern. I genuinely, when it comes to each design, don't have too much of a preference. I really don't. Like, I reckon I've got a classic rendition of the Avengers. I've got a more modern version of the Avengers. Like, I've got enough Marvel Legends in my collection to build a team around this, depending if it's modern or classic. As long as it's a good item, I'm happy. So I'm not gonna be mad like Tom said. If it's modern, it's out. I'm not gonna feel like that. If it's modern, that's fine with me. If it's classic, it's fine with me. It's more about what the package is here.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right. So they have you can usually buy 5, I think, 3 to 5 of a Haslab. So what would there be anything they could do to make you buy more than one?
Well, if
they put giant blister card, giant man.
What's the limit again? No, only joking. Just
to get a new wall just to put him on.
Look, my car passed its MOT today, so I'm so fucking happy. I'm ready to spend money at this point. So I just want it to be good. For the sake of the community, for the sake of forget who makes Marvel Legends for a second. I just love Marvel, right? And I love that we've been able to world build this epic collection for the last 20 years. And whether you like it or again, this is for debate, of course, but I reckon Legends have just improved and improved and improved. Do you know, we don't always get the best of what's currently available, but just generically speaking, that Black Widow we've currently got this year is better than the fucking any Black Widow we got in the Toy Biz days. So Legends are just getting better and better. The collection's more aesthetically looking like it matches and it all fits. The Toy Biz days, sometimes it looked like a character had been flame-flowered with a torch and the other one had been drowned and the other one hadn't been painted properly. The Toy Biz days was a bit sloppy, but I think these days the aesthetic with the collection's a lot better. And this room's a bit of a mess at the minute because I'm about to go through a whole refurb. But when the collection's there and it's in full and you've got team building and I reckon it just looks, as a Marvel fan, again, forget Hasbro for a second, just as a Marvel fan, I reckon the collection looks epic. So just for the Marvel fan in me, and just to add a really solid Giant Man to the collection that's in scale to a certain degree, I'd be very happy. It's just that Hasbro have the license and Hasbro are the ones doing it. So you sort of have to unfortunately play their games like NECA do with Turtles. So yeah, and everyone makes their own opinion. I'm not. Again, I've learned my lessons. I'm gonna not tell anyone to do shit. Do what the fuck you want. Back it if you want. Don't back it if you want. Up to you. Right? Up to you. Your money, spend it how you wish. But again, I love Legends and I'm always going to talk about my hobby and my passion and share it with you guys. So let's end this poll. It clearly ended with our classic. But we're going to get out of here, Rich, and we're going to go straight to the Dan Who Extra show. So you see that link right at the top of the chat there. That leads you to the Dan Who Extra live stream, which will go live straight after we finish this one, and me and Rich will just be talking for another half an hour, and that's where we give all the real juicy gossip. Me and Rich actually know what the fucking Haslab is at this point. We know how much it's going to be. We know what the tiers are. We're going to reveal it all on the Dan Who Extra. Right?
Got my folder ready.
There you go. We're going to basically just do the presentation. Dan and Ryan are coming into the call, and we're just going to go through rehearsal of the stream tomorrow over on Dan Who Extra. So if you want to get involved, join the channel membership at the Who Crew Deluxe tier. No refunds. Just putting that out there in case you do that and come over and get very disappointed that it's just me and Rich bitching again. So yeah, and again, this Sunday is Legend of the Liquor, and again, Legend of the Liquor's same old rules. All you have to do is be a channel member at the Members Club tier, okay? Members Club tier, you can be on Legend of the Liquor. It's been this way for nearly 2 years now. Get involved, and it's going to be a Legends heavy show, of course. Legend of the Liquor. I'll bring the liquor, don't you worry. You just bring the Legends talk, and we can make it happen. So yeah, Legend of the Liquor this Sunday. It's going to be Haslab, going to be recapping Did You Back, Didn't You Back? And right now, me and Rich are going to end this and go straight over to the Who Crew Deluxe Dan Who Extra Show. So for the people that don't follow us over there, Rich, any final words? Where can the people find you online?
You can find me at Displayed Once on Instagram. Will I have a giant man? Will I not? Who knows? Find out next week.
One thing's for sure, he has 2 giant ladies that are always there behind him, so he doesn't need a giant man. To be fair, if I had 2 giant ladies, I wouldn't need a giant man either, Rich. So like, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot there. You're in a great spot. So yeah, of course, thank you everyone to in the chat as well. Again, you know me, what it's like on this channel. We've been like this might be a sticky sort of next couple of weeks depending on what happens tomorrow within the community, okay? But I'm still here talking toys. Again, this is just a place to share my passion. Like, so I'm still here if you want to come here. Like, you know what to get at this point, all right? I just love Marvel Legends. What can I say? So yeah, very, very happy.
I am on holiday next week, but it was pre-planned. We did know the Haslab was launching. I haven't abandoned trip. Right?
Yeah, I might have to call up the substitute teacher and see if he's available next week to recap this with me on the stream. But yeah, Rich is on holiday next week, and then I'm on holiday the week after. So yeah, we'll be back. We'll be reunited again soon, Rich. I'm sure. I will miss you though. Maybe you can do a call in tomorrow, depending if you're back on time when I'm live or not. We'll figure that out as we go.
But I would have even seen anything, so I'd be like,
we can tell you. We can. That's what I mean. Will you phone in and we'll tell you what happened live and get your live reactions, and we'll just hear you go, fucking hell. That's what we.
I'll be like that woman with the general accent. Not another one. Fucking hell.
I've seen this. I can't leave without saying a massive thank you yet again to Doom Customs. I think Friday's already shut off for the evening. But Doom Customs says, wow, what a steamy stream. I'm sweating. I don't know about it. It's pretty hot in the UK at the minute.
Boiling,
so like,
yeah.
we actually are pretty sweaty and streamy. What a streamy stream. How did it end without pants? Oh, hey. Well, there's a reason you can't see the other half of us. That's what we show on the Dan Who Extra. Another reason to become a Who Crew Deluxe. Doom Customs, I love ya. Thank you so much. We're getting out of here. Give them a wave, Rich. Thank you. Let me go to my end screen. Get rid of this. Thank you, Legendsverse. Go and check that out, of course. But I will close that. And yeah, if you're watching on the replay, the word of the day is Haslab, all right? Let us know how much you think the Haslab's going to be. And don't watch the replay after the fact and come back with the exact figures. That's just cheating, all right? The cheating. You know what? Don't write anything. It's fine. If you don't write anything, if there's no comments on this video, I assume everyone watched it. It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Instead, click that video. All right? Or that one. That's fine as well. Which one should they click, Rich?
Oh, the one with the big one. The big giant man. That's what they should click.
The bigger the better. What can we say? Some people in the chat were saying they want it to be 36 inches. It's bigger than Galactus.
That is very big. Too big, I think. That's the limit. There you go.